Last night, a different content creator popped up in my feed. The reason that her video caught my attention is because of the title. It said, the porch guy identified. Porch Perp identified. So her channel's name is MMO Crime. I think it stands for Motive.Means.Opportunity Crime. So she was interviewing this guy named Charles, and the guy is an artist, and I think he collects art. So I don't know if you know anything about artists, but they see things that regular people like me, I don't know about you guys, but me, things that I don't notice, they notice. Like my son's an artist, he draws digitally, and I could take a picture to him and go, hey, let me shuffle this deck while we're talking. Is this person the same person right here? What do you think? Like I'll show him different people and go, you think this is the Porch Perp? Look at the eyes, look at the image of the mouth, right? And he'll say, nah, that's not it, right? So this guy notices stuff like that. Like he'll look in somebody's eye, and because of your veins and stuff that's in the white of the eye, he can see like, oh, that looks like a boat in your eye. That looks like a blonde-haired lady. I mean, he's really, really different, right? So I was intrigued. I have to tell you, I was at the edge of my seat for this whole video. So he was telling the host, I don't know what the lady's name is, MMO, that he started to collect art, I don't know how many years ago, and he notices little things that people don't notice, like in the Last Supper, he noticed that there was a cup there, that's some type of cup, and there's only 200 of those cups, and he has one of them, and he showed you the little, oh my God, he was into the minutia of the thing. So he's telling you all of that to let you know why he pays attention to these little things, right? So at first he said he paid attention to the perp's eyes, and the eyes reminded him of eyes that he had seen before with the people on canvas who is in Miss Nancy's circle, right? Or in her children's circle or whatever. And so he noticed the mouth. So they showed the mouth picture first. And I'm going to put the video in the link down below so you guys can go watch the lady's page and subscribe if you want to, okay? I don't want to like clip pictures from her page because I don't know how she is about stuff like that. But I think the guy's making the rounds. I think he was on the interview room and stuff too. So he showed the mouth right here, the perp, because I've always felt like that mustache was kind of fake, right? Because that's why I tell you 50% of the time I think it's a girl. So he said right here where the hair doesn't grow on the guy's lip, it looks like the minnow from Gilligan Island, right? The Gilligan's Island, the boat. And it kind of does. And he says, see, the hair doesn't grow there. So they showed not just the perp's mouth, but somebody else's mouth, but they didn't show the whole face. I'm like, okay, who the hell is this? Did we see this person before? So it has the same thing there where hair doesn't grow and it does look like the minnow, right? And then he showed the eyes. And I watched it first, and then I went and got my husband and said, come watch this with me. So every step of the way, my husband was like, maybe, right? And he said the person's name, but I didn't recognize the person's name. He said it's Walter I. Gonsalves. And I thought it was like Gonzalez, right? But that's spelled with a Z, G-O-N-Z-A, but it's G-O-N-C-A, I think. It's a weird spelling. And I'm like, who the hell is this? I don't know who this guy is. Where did he come from, right? And so then he continued and he showed the eyes, and I think that's at the point where my husband might have started to become convinced, but he's gonna pop out here for a real quick moment. He's cooking right now, but I told him to pop out here so you can tell us at what point you became convinced, because at the point that I became convinced was when he said, because I didn't know who the person was even though when he said the name. When he said who the person was, right, not just the name, he's one of Tomasso's bandmates. So there's Dominic Tomasso and this guy Walter. I never knew the guy's name. I saw the guy, but I didn't know his name. And so everybody had thought it was Dominic at first. Even my godmother was like, it's Dominic, look at the eyebrows. I've always felt like the eyebrows are cut off. Oh, my hat's hiding everything. Cut off on the top because of another mask underneath the ski mask. Right? So Dominic's too short to be the perp, right? So when the lady said, who are these three people in the thing? And he goes, it's Nick, Tom, and Walter. And the lady wasn't catching it, but I caught it right away. I guess Nick is the short for Dominic, and then Tom is the short for Tomasso, and then Walter. And so he's saying that it's Walter. And I said, maybe, I don't know, right? So then, this is what convinced me. Oh my God, this is going to be a long intro. I'm going to put up a warning, long intro. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull the cards and look for the man, because the question is Walter the Porch Perp? That's the question, okay? So, oh, it's upside down. Let's start over. Yeah, so what convinced me is what Walter does for a living. So apparently, my hubby's coming. Apparently Walter, some of the cards are coming upside down. I'm just turning them up the correct way. Apparently Walter is a federal public defender. Federal public defender out of Pima County, out of the same courthouse that Derek Calella just got his plea deal from. Thank you for coming up really quickly, baby. Can you tell my viewers at what point in that presentation last night you became convinced that perhaps that Walter guy could be the Porch Perp? No, the Porch Perp is the one that was on the porch with the backpack and the pew-pew, and he was fiddling with the camera. There are two things that they gave us. The FBI gave us that video, and they gave us that still shot of a person dressed the same way as the Porch Perp, but he didn't have the backpack or the pew-pew, and he was in the yard, not on the porch. Some people think that is one person in the same. That guy thought that. The guy Charles last night, I've always thought they were two different people.
I think it's two different
You think it's two different people. Okay, so at what point did you become convinced that the porch, that Walter, the guy that he's claiming, could be the Porch Perp? From the guy's presentation, he did the mouth first, he did the eyes, and then he did the body stance. Three things he did, because he found an old picture of Walter from 16 years ago where he was just standing by himself with his arms to his side. At what point did you become convinced?
When they showed the two pictures together.
When the stance?
Yeah.
The eyes didn't convince you?
No.
The mouth didn't convince you? It was iffy, right?
Right.
If and if. Okay. So when they showed the stance, but then what did I do afterwards? I'm still looking for the man, guys. What did I do afterwards? What did I show you afterwards that had you confused? Boo. Remember,
The younger picture?
I showed you the sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I showed you the sheriff,
Yeah.
right? And then what did that do after I showed you the sheriff?
Did I say is the what is that? What kind of picture was that one with the look?
The one in the yard. Just say the still shot.
The still shot.
The still shot.
When I see both of them together, and I said
That's the sheriff.
right.
So are you convinced that that could possibly be the sheriff more than the guy Walter?
Right.
Now keep in mind when he showed the guy Walter's picture, it was 16 years ago, the guy was skinnier.
Right.
Are you more convinced that it is the sheriff?
I think
Why?
Because the posture is the same way
The posture?
Yeah.
Because the Walter guy posture was the same too, where one of his shoulders kind of drooped
then-
because he plays the guitar.
Then the hip part is the same. You know, stuff like
What convinces me, and you know what, this is for entertainment purposes only, we don't know that that's the sheriff. For the longest time I didn't think it was him, and then it started to hit me that it could be him because of the body structure is the same, but it's the way he hung his hand. The sheriff had his hand hung the same because the sheriff is a boxer, right? But Walter is a guitarist, so he slouches that one shoulder, and the perp had one shoulder slouched. Walter has the correct height. I don't know how tall the sheriff is. I'm gonna go look into that, because the perp is between 5'9" and 5'11". Savannah is that tall. Tomasso is kind of the same height as Savannah, and Walter looks to be the same height as. So the question is Walter the Porch Perp? That's the first question. So I just wanted to ask you that, babe. At what point you became convinced that it could be Walter? And your answer is the stance, the posture. But then you kind of like threw it all in afterwards because you go, good God, it kind of looks like the sheriff too, right? So you're not sure. Is that it?
right.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming in. I know it's hot where you are because the tree's not covering you. Can you like trim a little bit of this tree off later for me? Huh? Just a little bit right here, because sometimes when I sit up, it's right in my head.
Okay.
All right, thank you, babe. So Walter is right here in the middle. The question is Walter Gonsalves, I might have the last name wrong, Porch Perp? Is he the Porch Perp? Okay? That guy thinks the Porch Perp and the still shot perp is the same. I think they're different. I think they're two different people. The first thing that leads the sentence is the child. Somebody young, immature, right? This is about deception, deceit, trickery, but it's also about a job and work. Remember what got me convinced? His job. He's a federal public defender in the same superior court that Derek Calella got his plea deal from. 5 years probation. What if he knew to tell him, hey, go take some drugs so you could tell the judge that you took drugs 3 days ago so you could get probation? Shut your damn mouth. The snake follows him. We can mirror the snake with the fox. 2 trickery deceitful cards. Jesus. And then the garden. Public defender. This is about a public event, but I have to rethink all of this because I really, in my heart, I would say 55% believe that the Porch Perp is a girl. What do you guys think? Comment below. When you don't see me read on Miss Nancy's, because I'm doing my research. I'm looking at other people's pages to see what they're saying. So let's pull 3 tarot cards about this public affair. The snake and stuff, we know what that is. So the cards shuffle. What are they doing? They're knocking out some of the stuff that's at the edge of the house. Okay, we're not gonna be here long. This is what we don't see coming. The first card is the moon. Intuition, illusions. It's all an illusion, guys. This whole case is an illusion. If I could really sit down with you guys and tell you what I really think, you guys would be shocked. Because, and I'm not saying it publicly because nobody's gonna sue me. The hell? I don't know. I'm just speculating like everybody else. I don't know it to be fact. The 3 of Wands is about progress and looking ahead, expansion. The Page of Cups, again another young energy. Who's this young energy? The Hermit. Somebody that's just internal. Most musicians are like real quiet people, you know. I'm gonna say 65% because of the fox, the snake, and that public thing. 65% it could be Walter is the porch guy. I don't think Walter is the guy that's in the yard without the backpack and without the pew-pew. I still think that might be the sheriff. So in order to try to get a little bit of a better confirmation on that 65%, the next question is gonna be oh, it's late right now. It's 12:26 when I'm doing the reading because I went with my husband today to a dental appointment because we had to run some errands. So I couldn't come out here early to read. So I can't take my glasses off because it's, maybe I can. You don't mind the squinting, do you? I like for you guys to see my eyes. So we're gonna ask if he's involved at all. Maybe he's not the Porch Perp, but maybe he's involved. I'm gonna tell you up front that I believe he is involved. I didn't think so before I watched that video, but I believe he is involved because of his job. And they said the thing, Derek Callella's part of his deal that's sealed, even he can't see it. Even Walter can't see it. That's what the guy said. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm inclined to believe this guy because this guy's an artist, so he notices stuff. Second question is Walter involved in some way? Is he the one that's like cleaning up the Calella mess? Because I do believe Calella is involved. And that's why I think, you know, he got that plea deal. Because there are people working behind the scenes to clean up this mess. Clean up this mess. This was never supposed to be such a big story. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what's hidden underneath it all. Okay? So is he involved? Oh, shoot. He's worried. He's stressed out, anxiety, sleepless night. Oh my God. Guilt, despair. He's guilty. You know, I believe, I'll tell you this much. I believe that this was a planned kidnapping to put Miss Nancy in a home. She didn't want to go, and they wanted to put her in a home. Fill in the blanks how you want to fill in the blanks. And all these riffraffs became involved. Too many people became involved. And so somebody had her. I don't think she expired right after they took her out of that home like people think. We're not sure of that. People are sure she's dead. The only thing we can be sure of is that they took her out of that home because Savannah said they did, so I'm thinking there's cameras in there that showed that, in her pajama and barefooted, and that she expirated that blood out of her nose or her mouth, and that somebody had her stashed. I believe that. Well, we can't know that. We can't know that somebody had her stashed, but we know they took her out because the blood's on the ground, whatever. Sometimes I think the blood is planted, but I only like 20% think that. And I think it got too big, and I think when the sheriff came on the 5th of February and said, drop her off, no questions asked, I think whoever had her got the clue Oh, sheriff is saying drop her off. And on the 10th, they dropped her off in the desert. And I really do believe that person that they picked up out of the desert is her, 84-year-old person. How coincidental. Why the person who got picked out of the desert family don't come out and say, it's not her, it was my mom, it was my auntie, it was my grandma. What are you guys talking about? How many people did they put NDAs on? You know? So 2 of Wands, planning, decisions, discovery, cross. They are planning, man. Sometimes I wonder if the truth is ever going to come out, but then I know it is because I keep getting the Justice card from Miss Nancy. 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. 7 of Cups. Then we used to get this all the time from Miss Nancy. Illusions, delusions, many choices. 4 of Pentacles. It's about greed. It's about money. At the core, it's about money. Look how my daughter's face is chipped up with it. This card is booty. For my birthday, I'm buying my printer. My birthday is 1 month away from today. Today is July the 14th. This is 42 years since I met my husband. July the 14th. We're going to celebrate 40 years of marriage in December. Oh, don't fly away, little party card. And let me put a box on it. Man, everything's trying to fly away. Yeah, so 40 years of marriage, 42 years since we met. 1 month away from now, I'm going to be 60. No party. Too hot and too expensive. 5 of Pentacles, poverty, hardship. Somebody was in financial loss. That's why they came up with a plan to do this. It was always about to get Miss Nancy locked. I don't think it was supposed to unalive her. It was to get her locked away in a home. She didn't want to go. And so they decided to play this kidnapping game. And it went awry because of the streamers. I blame the streamers for all of this. They became involved and they made the thing bigger than it should have been. And now they can't bring Miss Nancy back. I really honestly believe that. I can tell you this part because this part is not accusing anybody of anything nefarious. I believe that Cameron has Miss Nancy safe somewhere. I believe he's protecting her. Remember, this is my opinion. We don't know this to be fact. This is speculation. I'm willing to change my theory anytime something else comes out to show me something different, okay? So the first question was, is Walter the Porch Perp? 65% yes. The second question is Walter involved? I'd say 80% yes. I'm giving you percentage because we can't be 100% sure. That man was 100% sure. He kept saying, I'm 100% sure. I am certain it's him. It's him. It's him. No, that's the kind of person who will get sued. That lady kept saying, alleged. We don't know. Speculation. Okay, what are we going to ask for the gush? What are we going to ask for the gush, guys? Give me a question. Give me a question. Give me a question. Okay. The question is Derek Calella involved? They keep saying he asked for a ransom, but he really did not. He said, we're waiting for the Bitcoin on our end, right? Bitcoin could have been for a guitar. He might have sold him a guitar or something and he wanted to get paid by Bitcoin. I'm not trying to defend Derek, but I'm just saying that wasn't clear to me. That's why he only got probation. It wasn't very clear. Okay. I'm having fun today. I have the camera on the table too. What we don't see coming. And I'm not going to forget to read it. Why? Because I see it now. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. 7 of Swords. Deception, fraud, sneakiness, theft. He wanted money. He was Derek. If Derek is involved, he was about the money. But then he was burdened and stressed and overloaded. He said, wait, we waiting for the money on our end, fools. What's taking you so long? At least 3 people. At least 3 people are involved. And I think it's more. Let me count on my hand how many I think it is. 9. I'm not going to tell you which 9 because I'm not going to get in trouble. Another 10? Failure, betrayal, painful endings, crisis. Did they unalive Miss Nancy finally? All these people who are involved are going to end up behind federal prison. Kidnapping is federal, right? Page of Swords. Inquisitive, curious, messenger, observant. This is a spy. They have a spy in their camp. And then the 5 of Wands is about conflict, rivalry. I think Callela is involved. I think he's involved. I think after he gets clean, when they sentence him on September the 10th, he's gonna have to allocute. He's gonna have to say what the hell he did. Thanks for watching though. See you guys on the next one. Bye.